Hi, this is my oral critique number 2. I decided to watch the movie All Good Things. It's written by Marcus Hinchey and Mark Smerling and directed by Aaron Darsky. It is rated 3 out of 5 on Rotten Tomatoes, and it was based on the real events in the life of Robert Durst. The film title refers to the health and food store um, that Robert Durst had with Kathleen Cormack. It's filmed in Connecticut and New York. All Good Things 2010 is intriguing and disturbing because it covers
Psychological.
tension with a real life mystery. To this day, the film has a non-linear narrative that moves from different timelines to build a sense of suspense and mystery. Ryan Gosling plays Robert. Other line was David Marks. Kirsten Dunst plays Katie McCarthy. Frank Le- I hope I say this right. Frank Legea plays Stanford Marks, and he is David's father. They all did a really good performance. Something I didn't know, I read the article, ChristianAnswers.net. They were talking about the film, and they noted that Robert reported and he saw the film and liked the movie and the acting, which I was surprised to hear about. The film uses flashbacks and cross-cutting to reveal plot points as the film continues. It has lots of cutscenes as well. Um, Ryan Gosling and Kirsten Dunst acting felt real. The film's fashion of 1970s and 1980s setting of New York felt authentic, and the use of lighting and muted and also brighter colors makes it feel more realistic and helps with the audience in the time with them as they're watching. The first scene opens with a dark, eerie lighting,
Showing.
ocean, and unsettling music plays, setting a tone of mystery and what's about to come next. It keeps the audience wanting to continue to watch. They don't feel the need to look away. The time I was watching this, I was very interested the whole time. Cuts to a scene following the car in the darkness. A lady is driving, which I now can assume that that lady driving the car is actually Robert. He went. It kind of you have to watch the movie twice to really capture different things of the timeline because this film goes back and forth. Um, so we can assume that David is the woman in the car. The lady in the car keeps the mystery going. As the car is moving along, a juror is speaking to David, asking general questions. Like, the juror, we couldn't see David at this time, but we could hear the audio, but there was showing the car driving. The scene finally shifts, so we can put it.
To the face.
We are shown an old man in a courtroom. He is questioned about his past. The colors in this particular scene are more tinted greenly, I noticed, but it's relatively still very vibrant because he's been asked about his past, about when he was a kid, so he feels happy, more happy looking back on that. The scene cuts to lighthearted music, creating a feel of nostalgia. The audience hears camera clicks and sounds as we visually see footage from a camera and chatter. The colors are very vibrant, showing moments of David's younger life that this represents his innocence and his happiness. What's really interesting about this film is David is both the protagonist and the antagonist in the film. David's the main character, the film follows his life. While he is the main focus of the film, his actions make him the antagonist as well. His crazy behavior creates tension, highlighting himself and causing the problem. David's father, Sanford, is an antagonist in the film. He wants to control David, and he influences his decisions a lot. Sanford influences his son, David, to come back to New York, saying that Katie deserves a better lifestyle than the one they created together. He is brought back into his father's business of real estate, which he tried to leave. The film takes place in New York, Los Angeles, and Texas from January 1971 to November 2003. They say this in the beginning of the film of the credit scene. The point of view is through David's and occasionally Katie's POV. Her med school scenes talking about her relationship with David to others and when she suspects something is wrong. The film moves between past and present and uses flashbacks to reveal important moments. In the courtroom scenes, the film allows the audience to see David from an outsider's approach. The film is mostly through his eyes. It captures his emotions and mental stage. One scene that stuck out to me was when Katie was celebrating getting in nursing school and David wanted to leave. She made it known that she didn't want to, and she hasn't been there long, and she's celebrating an important time in her life. And David really wanted to go. He's like, I'm waiting in the car, and he didn't like that he couldn't control her. And he came in and grabbed her by her hair and dragged her out. His violent outbursts create suspense and fear. Another action is when, after Katie went missing, David disguises himself, and his interactions with other people were very unsettling and crazy. I think it's crazy that no one has been charged with her murder, or there's still no body found today. And I think with, obviously people saw Katie after that night at the lake house, but that could have been David. He was dressing up as a woman, could have easily wore wigs. All Good Things uses flashbacks and fragmented storytelling to build suspense and shifts of different timelines of David's life and Katie's. The filmmaker focuses more on psychological tension rather than straightforward narrative. The film highlights power, control, and illness. The filmmaker was trying to build tension and suspense. While watching, you kind of question his innocence from the beginning, because obviously, why is he in the courtroom? You want to know why. The audience knows his mother has passed from the beginning of the movie when he's being questioned in court. We hear the audio. As he's being questioned in court, he's asked about the beginning of his life. The timeline changes and begins there. We learn the unfortunate story of how his mother died and how it affected him. We learn that he is mentally unstable and he is not receiving any help from the way that seeing his mother pass in front of him. We see that he is constantly repeating sentences and when he's alone. And Katie actually walked in on him doing that. In the article, Marrying to a Nightmare, Albert mentions how he can't understand David Marks. I think the whole point was being told is Durkee was aiming for an audience is that he didn't either understand him, and neither should the audience. I mean, no one really. There's no way to understand him. The elements of Miss Unseen that seem to be contributing the most into this story is lighting, setting, and location. Those all play huge points in this. I can't say this correctly, so I'm sorry. But verse nude is important to the film because the appearance of realism that they were trying to attempt to create authentic feel while maintaining an eerie, suspenseful atmosphere is very important to the film. The film was great. The cinematography when Katie's dragged by the hair that's in the view is kind of like similar to a bird's eye, but it's looking down from his angle to grab her hair. I think that was a very cool shot. And lighting is kind of darker. Um, I like how at the lake house it was raining that night to symbolize like unwariness. It's just a little very unsettling. Thank you.